So you'll be interviewing from.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being a part of what we are going on tonight. Um, it may be the afternoon, it may be the evening, wherever you are at, but we want to welcome you. And we're going to talk today about the International and Immigrant Autism Advisory Council. We have two people here that will talk more about this. We're going to let them talk. And what we're going to do is get this right said. We got Dr. Gifty Ampaw and Dr. Lincoln Kamal here with us tonight. I got it right?
Yes, you did.
Okay,
Yes, you
that's what we're
did.
gonna start with that.
Yeah.
We start with getting the names right. And then we're gonna get the situation right. Because this is not just a national thing. We're talking international thing and we're talking autism and
Mm-hmm.
we're talking from Worcester.
Mm-hmm.
So let's back up a little bit and talk a little bit about you guys. Give us your background
Mm-hmm.
and then talk a little bit more about where we are going forward with the International Immigrant Autism Advisory Council.
Okay.
All right, either one of you can start.
I mean, I guess I'll just go ahead and first kind of introduce myself and give a little bit background information about myself. Oh, that's the screen.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
As I thank you for introducing.
Yeah.
I said I'm Dr. Gifty Ampaw. I am a leadership psychologist and also I am a doctoral level diagnostician. So I diagnose for autism individuals starting age 18 months all the way up to 7 years old. I am also a board certified behavior analyst and I'm licensed to practice in the state of Massachusetts. So I also provide services and treatment to individuals who are on the spectrum.
Yeah, I'm Dr. Lincoln Kamau. Just like Gifty here, I'm a board certified behavior analyst. Board certified behavior analysts are individuals that used evidence-based interventions for autism. So I have been working in Massachusetts for the last 15 or so years. I'm originally actually from Kenya, so I moved to this country to study computer science. But somewhere along the way, I realized the way we treat disabilities way out there in Africa and in the United States, it's way different. And I realized I need to go to autism treatment. I need to work with my people, and that's how all this started. So not only after then somewhere down the road, I met Dr. Gifty here, and then our combined experience. That's how we came up with the organization, the International and Immigrants Autism Advisory Council.
And that's a understanding that people need to maybe because it's so much into the news now that people are getting aware of what's going on with autism.
Mm-hmm.
Tell the people what's going on now because last time you turn on the news, you turn on the TV, you listen to somebody that's saying something about autism and that there's a new discovery of autism. Is it a new discovery of autism or people have been misdiagnosed that had autism and was in another category?
So we have definitely gotten a lot better in terms of detection. Uh, and in terms of overall diagnosis. So it's not so much, I know there's been a lot of misconceptions that is there an increased prevalence in terms of autism? Is this a new thing? Did this type of diagnosis just kind of emerge out of, nowhere within the last few years? Autism has always been there. It's just in terms of our detection, diagnosing of the disorder, we have not been that great in the field. We've gotten better in terms of our diagnostic assessment tools. So that's where we're really starting to, recognize some of those who are being misdiagnosed or not having received that, diagnosed. So recently, as I'm not sure how many of you guys are familiar, but the CDC just released, a new data as of last week. Which indicates there's been an increase in autism prevalence. So in 2020, autism was identified in 1 out of 36 8-year-old children. And now, as of this year, 2025, we have recognized that it's now in 1 out of 31 8-year-old children. So that's
Wow.
about 17% increase. And what is more interesting is that the first time ever, we have recognized that those who are Black, Asian, Hispanic children have actually more diagnosed than Caucasian children.
That they are more diagnosed because they are having more testing?
They're having more
Okay.
testing, more awareness, more. So in terms of what autism is, the overall topic of it, we're starting to see more increased awareness in those specific, ethnic populations.
It's okay, so it's more awareness in Black and Spanish people, and is it less awareness in white people, or is it the same, but it's just there wasn't any, now there's an increase apt to look for these signs early in life, versus you may not develop somebody who understands these signs until you get to first, second, third grade, where there's a specialist in the school that knows this.
Yeah, you see, with the awareness within the Black, brown communities, parents are bringing their kids out for early testing.
Okay, there
So
you go.
once they get
Okay,
tested early,
got
they
you.
get
See,
into the path for treatment earlier. So going back 10 years ago, I mean, there wasn't a lot of awareness in our communities.
Okay,
For instance,
got
our
you.
organization here, we target immigrants in the Worcester area. They are immigrants from 68 different countries.
Got
When
you.
we started our work here, most of them didn't bring kids to us for diagnosis. Some of them actually even didn't accept autism as a diagnosis. So, but now with awareness, the reduced stigma, most of them are coming to us. They are coming for treatment.
And this stigmas was like the baby is possessed. The baby has these things. It's not. It's a bad spirit in the baby, so we don't
Yeah.
want. We hide it. We
Yeah.
don't even want people to know this is what it is.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
so those stigmas have now revealed people to step forward and say, all right, this is not a stigma. This is actually something that we need to treat.
Exactly.
And this is where this international piece comes in,
Yeah.
because we have so many international people coming into this autism space now.
Yeah.
There we go. All right.
Yeah.
That helps understanding for people who may not have an understanding.
Yeah.
Now, hopefully, you understood what we
Yeah.
was talking about.
Yeah.
There we go. So talk a little bit more about how people could get connected. What's the social media? How people can get involved if they are not already involved in your International Immigrants Autism Advisory Council.
Yeah, right now we are in the process of developing our website, but after we post this video, below it every third Friday of the month, 6 p.m. to 6 p.m.
7.
Yeah, 6 to 7. We
Eastern
have
Standard Time.
Eastern Standard
You have
Time.
to say that because we got international people. All right, Ireland, a big up Kenya. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, we have a free support group. Right now, we
Okay.
had one this past Friday, and that was for the Worcester area. In fact, last week on Monday, we had one for a group from North Carolina that was also interested with the work we are doing here. So we will post that, and they are open not every third Friday of the month indefinitely. Because
Okay.
we want to spread the word, we want to create awareness on not only diagnosis, but also treatment.
So you have a social media presence.
Yeah, we are there. We are.
Name
yeah.
the how you have to look up your name on the social media, Instagram, Facebook. What are those?
Yeah, again, we are the International and Immigrants Autism Advisory Council.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's the International Migrant
And
and
immigrants.
Immigrant.
Yes.
Okay, and Immigrant Autism Advisory Council.
Yeah.
All right. So that is what you'll look up when you get online
Yeah.
and you go look around and you're scrolling around looking for autism and what is going on. This is an international look and view at how people are working with autism, how people are dealing with autism, and how you can get involved with even learning about it. Maybe
Yeah.
we should start there.
Yeah, and we want to clarify most of our work in the Worcester market.
Yeah.
Because again, like I mentioned, there are people from 68 different nationalities in the Worcester area. And when we migrants, we are both migrants ourselves.
Yeah.
From
I'm
Ghana.
from Ghana, by the way.
From
Okay.
Kenya. So when we come to this country, navigating the medical system is very challenging. I mean, you'll find hospitals just use English and Spanish. Most of our populations don't speak either English or Spanish. If you are from Ghana or Cote d'Ivoire or wherever, I mean, even from Vietnam, like you are not included. So it's very hard navigating the medical system. And that's why organizations like ours, so not only creating the awareness, we direct these families to where are the resources. Because even within the school systems, again, navigating. For instance, I have a Somali family I'm working with. I mean, they only speak Somali. You can just imagine how difficult it is getting services in the Worcester area. And that's just one story. I can name Gifty here, can name 10 different stories of families like those that are finding it very challenging just in the Worcester market to find services. And that's where we have stepped in. We are trying to fill that
If
gap.
there's a question, you are now that solution.
Yes.
If there's a question how to navigate this system, you are trying to be that solution. You are going to be that solution for this international community.
In addition to that, it's not just also helping these families, but also providing additional training and support to practitioners in our field, providers in our field. So for like special educators in the school system, when they're conducting IEP meetings and they're hosting these IEP meetings with these families, where a lot of these families, English is not even their first or even their second language.
Right.
And they tend to use a lot of technical terms, right? So when they're talking about the progress of the student, they're talking about data, which is great.
Right.
But is the IEP meeting really for the educators or is it for the families so that they can kind of understand the progress in terms of what their child is making in the school and what services that their child is getting in the school? And a lot of times when I am, providing services to these families, a lot of them don't even know what their child is receiving in terms of services from that.
While they're in school, they tell them what they're doing and they don't understand it, and the kid is in school doing something nobody understands, and the IEP is not reflective of them learning anything, so they don't advance.
Right. So that's just one aspect. And in addition to that, like we mentioned, we're also, board certified behavior analysts. And a lot of the providers in our industry are mostly, Caucasian populated, predominantly Caucasian, clinicians. And when it comes to treatment planning of these individuals, these children, where they come from backgrounds where there's a lot of factors in play, barriers or cultural barriers. They're not really taken into consideration of when they're creating their treatment plan to provide the support to the individual and taking into account of that. So there's also a lack of cultural competency and understanding as well.
And that is now thrown out the window for cultural competencies now. The Worcester Public School System is going into a shock fall with the leaving of the superintendent in June. So there's going to be a lot of pushback, maybe in the cultural piece, depending on who they select as the next leader of the Worcester Public School System. So you guys got a handful on your hands. Y'all got a battle waiting for y'all. No, really, because it's a lot of population of people that are coming in from different populations that don't have understanding of English, and they coming in here with full families into full systems and have no way of navigating it because, like you said, Spanish and English, Vietnamese, French, Creole, I mean, how many other languages you can throw out in the hat. It's not on the main menu of the practitioners.
Yeah, and actually you mentioned another very strong point there, the current political system, climate. If you have noticed, Dr. Gifty here, she does a lot of diagnosis, and we were just discussing it last week. Like immigrant populations who go for diagnosis, they have dropped. You want to talk about that?
Oh yes. So in
terms, they don't even want to show up.
Exactly. So I've been receiving a lot of cancellations, especially those who are Hispanic or some of them who are Caribbean, because they are very fearful of actually leaving their house. So we actually had a meeting in terms of what do we do if
such and such happens and they're at the door.
So that's impacting diagnosing, that's impacting treatment because they don't feel comfortable to leave their house to come to our organization to get tested for autism. So they kind of have to choose.
They choose which one is going to be their poison.
Right.
We're going to keep this kid in the house and deal with that, and don't even worry about the autism or subject ourselves to the possibility of us not even being here anymore.
Yeah,
and they separate the child too. They you don't go as a set. When they come for you, they don't take you as a set. One goes this way, and the other one goes that way, and we'll see you when we see you.
Which is very detrimental to treatment because autism can be treated. And the earlier you start the interventions, the more the successful the outcomes. So when these families stop coming for early interventions, for early treatment, you see the outcomes of these kids will be very detrimental.
Right.
Yeah. So that's.
I'll tell people how to get in touch with you again. Let's pick it up a little bit because we don't want to scare everybody, but we want to make them aware because shit is scary. But you better be aware. And tell them how to get to you.
Again, the International and Immigrant Autism Advisory Council, we are on social media. And like we said, once you post this video, we will put our monthly meetings down there so that everybody can be able to find them. And we are partnering now, starting from this summer, we will be partnering with a few Ghanaian churches in the Worcester community. Because we also want to start having live sessions, answer questions, lead these families to these resources. Because, there is a very big gap in this community. Yeah.
Do you want to say anything, Doc? Dr. Ampaw.
This is really not just for, we have a targeted audience or targeted population in terms of us providing additional support and additional, resources. But honestly, this is beyond that, right? It's beyond just looking at that cultural aspect. It's really looking at, because I talked about the data, there's an increase in autism prevalences in terms of, diagnosing. So again, it's going beyond the cultural aspect of that. So our whole, philosophy and ideology around this is to really support these families. Despite their cultural background, their language background, just different backgrounds from where they come from. So
that's what's up, man. And this is what we want to do. We want to give the energy to people who are doing interesting things. And these people are not even doing interesting things. They are championing you to be involved, to do these things with them. So when this gets posted, when you see that opportunity to get involved, figure it out. Even if you have the question and you don't know the answer, throw it out there and get something. You might never know what it'll lead to. You know what I mean? I call myself the hustler of culture. I go out and put books in people's hands. This is opportunity to prevent you from being ignorant. You know what I mean? That's the whole thing. Once you learn something, you can never be ignorant. You can never walk into a room again without knowing something. And we're trying to give you something. These people are giving you something. What was the day? Every third Tuesday, Thursday? What is it?
Friday. Every third Friday of the month.
Every third Friday of the month.
From 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen. You want to say something before us?
Before we end, also, this is for the fathers out there. Almost every week, I come across a child with autism, but the father is in denial. Mothers, in cases of diagnosis, mothers catch these very early and they come and seek professional help, but it's usually the fathers who are holding on to hope when there is no hope. So fathers out there, this is for you. When your wife or significant other says this kid has autism, they probably need to be diagnosed. Embrace them. In the long run, it's good for the child.
And why do you think they don't?
Honestly, there's stigma, right?
Stigma.
There's shame.
Shame. They don't want the people in the community to think that they have the dumb kid.
And then there's that also cultural factor to it. So I mean, as you know, with those type of
Populations,
cultural backgrounds,
yeah.
the child is possessed.
Yeah,
They start to demonize the child and things of that nature.
Yeah.
So.
And also the ratio of diagnosis for boys to girls, it's higher in boys, like 4-1.
Yes.
So mostly boys get diagnosed with autism. And in most cultures, the value of the boy child
is
higher than the girl child.
So the girl will get the treatment, the boy will keep you hiding.
Yeah, so especially when you're a father and it's your first child or it's your first boy child and they get a diagnosis, you see, it kind of...
The stigma.
And also it kind of hurts your ego. But the earlier the child gets autism, the better the outcomes are.
That's what we want to leave y'all with. Fathers, men, males, get involved with your kids. Don't be the preventive, be the additive. You know what I mean? This is a partnership. Addition, multiplication, not subtraction and division. We out of here, y'all. Y'all have a great day, great night, great evening, wherever you at. Thank you for being a part of what we got going on. We want to thank these two wonderful people who are doing something special in the community, and we want to champion them. So you champion